And then we added Doug Wilson. And Doug showed up with a saxophone. He was awesome on the sax and a keyboard. Well, once you added that and added drums, it became a rock band.
So I had this classmate at NC State who knew Rodney and asked me if I wanted to meet him because I was looking for some bandmates and stuff. The guy knew I played music. So I met Rodney, and somehow he invited me to one of the practices. And I remember showing up in Lee's attic, and we had to climb up the stairs into this attic, which is where you guys are practicing. And she had a new keyboard, and I, of course, gravitated immediately to the synthesizer with all the knobs and stuff. And I had my sax. And anyway, we were playing, or you guys were playing, and I played along with you. And I just kind of pushed her out of the way and started playing the keyboard because it was so interesting to me. And next thing I knew, we became a band and we started rocking out, and it went from the folky stuff up to more cool rocking stuff with some synth parts. And really, I started kind of on the sax was my main instrument, but really kind of grew over the keyboards, over a long period of time. So kind of became my second thing. But I really love, I love the keyboards because there's a lot of texture, a lot of different sounds and different textures you can bring to the music. I mean, sax is kind of a solo instrument in a lot of ways, but the keyboards I could fill in, throughout the whole song, and that's why I like doing both.
Seems like Doug was having girl trouble, and someone had just put sugar or something in his gas tank, so he was all hangdog, and I felt so sorry for him. And it was very obviously he was just incredibly talented, way over my head. And he just came in and just grabbed it and ran with it.
So as destiny grew, Lee thought the rock side was more than she had planned on. And to be honest with you, it was way more than I had planned on too, because I always liked the harmonizing. And so de facto, since I didn't play an instrument, I became the front man, I guess, the lead singer. And I had to just force myself to learn how to sing into a microphone live with amplifiers and compete with the music.
So Battle of the Bands was our first kind of big public performance. And I look back at that video now and I laugh because I was such a freaking geek. I was kind of going a little bit ADD on stage there and had a lot of fun. But at one point, I remember there were some girls in the front row, and they were like, cheering for us and stuff. And I had this nasty snot rag that I used to clean my mouthpiece out with, and I was trying to throw something to the crowd. That's all I had with me, so I pulled this nasty rag out of my pocket and threw it out, and these girls are clutching it. It was pretty funny.
The greatest thing was that my parents, who had never actually seen us play, came to watch us play at the Battle of the Bands. They did. They were there. My parents, first time they'd ever seen us play. All right, and it was we were the last band to play, right? So there was some real garbage on before us as well. So it was so bad, they had moved up to the upper rafters of Dorton Arena, and the police came up. They thought they were dealing drugs or something because they were up in the upper rafters. What are you doing up here? They said, what's going on up here? It's like, well, we're here for my son. He's down there. It's a lot of racket, so we just figured we'd get as far away as we could. So, but yeah, my parents actually were there. Did you know that? I don't know if I've ever shared that before. That's it. So my parents almost got arrested for selling drugs, but at the first concert.
So Battle of the Bands was in Dorton Arena, which was in the fairgrounds at Raleigh. Had horrible acoustics, but we went on last, and we won. We ended up winning with the songs. We had a couple of songs. We got a record deal out of it where we did a couple of singles. Trying to think what else. It was kind of an all-day affair. There's probably 20 or 30 different bands that played, and it was really kind of it was really almost our first gig, but it really launched us too. And